Welcome to Waleed's Gambletown. I am your God Emperor, in true imperialistic fashion, because none of our millionaire bets hit. So the status quo will remain the status quo.
Sure.
Last week wasn't our best week, but it wasn't our worst week either. And to me, that's kind of a win. We were, let's see, running totals here. Last week we were 7-8, 1-5 on our parlays, and let's see.
That Waleed, that JSN hit by the skin of our teeth, man.
Yeah, well, the parlay hit. The reason we're not 8-7 is because my individual line I got a couple of yards higher, so I didn't hit it. So the parlay hit, but my JSN missed.
I didn't hit Waleed's parlay because I had it at 92.5 instead of 91.5.
Yep.
And for our totals, Tony's still leading the ship. The only reason that we're still not completely terrible is 40-29 on the season. 8-12 over the last 4 weeks. The last 4 weeks have been bad for us, which means, guys, we are as dangerous as we're ever going to be. We are due. Ryan is 29-41. This is a huge swing from last year where Ryan was
right.
6-14 over the last 2 weeks, over the last 4 weeks. I am 32-37. Every time I get to 500, I go 0-5, and it just wrecks me and it's pissing me off. I'm 8-12 over the last 4 weeks. Tony 6-20 on parlays. Ryan 20-24, and me 4-21. On the season, we're 101 and 107. And over the last 4 weeks,
I'm sorry,
22-38. No, go on. I just wanted to get those totals out of the way.
I just pulled it up. Last year, Ryan was 54-36 top 5 bets of the week.
Yeah. He was on one. This year, Tony's on one. So you know what that means, guys. Next year, I'm due.
You might be. No one's been more due than you.
Yeah. I at least had a winning record last year. I'm worried I'm not going to at the end of the year. This has been ugly.
There's no one among us that is locked into a losing record on the season. There's still time.
Yeah. And and honestly, we always finish out strong because the more data we have, the sharper we are. So I'm feeling, and I'm going to be honest, the last couple of weeks, I've been on it with research. I've been doing pretty damn well. Obviously, I'm leaning a lot more into DFS now. I would argue I'm as good at DFS as just about anyone out there right now. I've been doing pretty well. I'm waiting for another big tournament hit. And on that note, guys, let's get going. Tony?
Cool. All right, let's do it. I'm going to start with my first top 5 bet of the week, and it is Nico Collins over 74.5 receiving yards. The system went back after making my tweaks. It went 4-1 last week, so we're back at it. No one in the system was on Thursday night. We'll talk about Justin Jefferson maybe never again, but he's not. He's on there. He didn't make my top 5 bet sheet. Nico Collins did. Electric against cover 4. And that's, by the way, what Arizona plays most in the league and allows the most receiving yards in that coverage. I think this is a Nico crush week. A lot of the places that I'm checking for DFS seems to agree. And, of course, I went and checked my best ball surviving teams, and I have 0% Nico Collins. Waleed, your first top 5 bet of the week.
I want to point out, too, that Nico Collins over the last month has been wrecking shit. He's a guy who's been Houston in general has been coming on a little bit more on their offensive side. And on that note, my top 5 bet of the week, apparently it has been determined that I am the biggest Woody Marks fan that's ever lived this week.
Hold on, guys. Pause. Waleed. I know it's your first week of Gambletown, but you need to switch slides, bud.
Oh, do I need to switch slides? I'm sorry.
He's too busy marking out for Woody Marks.
Yeah.
Right.
Resume.
So, what was I going to say here? Yeah, Woody Marks here. All my metrics, man, love Woody Marks. His usage is insane, and he is playing a who the hell are they playing again?
Arizona.
No, not Arizona. They're playing an Arizona team that's just getting wrecked. That team has completely given up. But Woody Marks rushing and receiving over 87.5 yards combined. I added the reception line because honestly, his rushing line is not that much lower, and he does catch passes. He's been catching a little bit less than he has in the past, in the past, like over the last month, his reception total has gone down, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to be able to like one catch could break it for 20 yards and make that rushing total like a lot easier.
I think
like he's getting like he's averaging 20 touches a game.
I think that has a lot to do with, Schultz being healthy, Nico being healthy, Higgins being healthy. They haven't needed to check it down to more. Yeah.
And that's fine. Like the problem, like if Houston had a league average offensive line, they would be Super Bowl favorites right now, in my opinion. They have the best defense in football, and like they're clicking. Like they're getting hot at the right time. And I just think that I think Houston's going to be up by so much in the second half. You're just going to see Woody Mark getting handoff after handoff after handoff. Isn't Nick Chubb also hurt?
He is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's.
Like Woody Marks should be the load back in this game. Woody Marks is my favorite play of the week.
Okay. All right, Ryan, your first top 5 bet of the week.
Guys, my first bet is a spicy one. I'm going with the New York Giants team total over 23.5 points. I think 24 points is easily attainable for them this week.
Because you've seen Washington's defense.
Right. And the Giants have a 0.05 EPA per play with Dart on the field. That puts them one spot behind the Seahawks. So I think they're going to put up, 24 to 30 points on Washington this week. So
I'm really high on the Giants this week. I think I was actually surprised from DFS values. I thought Jackson Dart would be rated a little bit higher. I think they assume he's not going to run much, so his number's been depreciated. Yeah. But I'm going to be honest, he's going to run. Like he told you he's going to play football the way he plays football. And Washington, they're giving up the most yards per play to quarterback, running back, wide receiver. They can't stop anything right
now. No, and he's clicking with all his receivers too. Yeah. Theo, Wandale, Slayton.
Well, and that's one of my big rules of gambling. Find someone who's really bad at something and then bet against that.
Yep.
And I mean, if you really think about it too, the point total for this game is 46.5, and the Giants are 2.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
So that would shake out that 23.5 would be a play you would want to hit the over on, right? Yeah. Math wise.
Yes. So if it's 30 to 21, yeah, something like that.
Because it would be I think Vegas is expecting them to put up 25, 26 points.
Sure.
Yeah. In DFS, I'm going to have a lot of exposure to Giants.
Yeah, I did. I checked this morning. I got it at -120 yesterday on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it's -133. Their line on DraftKings is actually 24.5. So it's a little more juiced on DraftKings, but I got it at -120 on FanDuel yesterday.
Okay. All right, let me roll through and hit my second top 5 bet of the week. I'm going to go with the only 8 in my system that hit this week, and my next 2 are going to be interesting. It is THfantaC Smith over 54.5 receiving yards. He had the best coverage score of the week of everything I did. He is explosive against cover 2. The Raiders play cover 2 at a high rate. And man, Jalen Hurts, 77% completion percentage against cover 2.
That's a good number.
And that's not a number that you associate with someone like Jalen Hurts as a precision passer. And THfantaC Smith is second in yards per route run against cover 2, second in first read target share, 40.6% of his team's first read targets against cover 2. So if this game stays competitive, we could see some real nice receiving numbers for these guys. Also, I think, what's his name? The lineman is not coming back this week. Their injured lineman.
Max Crosby? Oh, Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson. So Lane Johnson's not coming back this week, and that makes their rushing attack significantly worse. So hopefully Philly has to pass and this line will hit. So THfantaC Smith over 54.5 receiving is my second bet of the week. Waleed?
So my number 2 bet of the week is, I say Woody Marks is my favorite, but God, it's a 1A and 1B thing here, because Mark Andrews over 39.5 receiving yards just feels like the chalkiest of chalk plays. We're talking about a Cincinnati team that is giving up 12.6 yards per target to inline routes. That's just 3 pass attempts to Mark Andrews. Cincinnati on this season, the tight end 1 playing them would be wide receiver 7 on the season. Like, we've all heard the numbers probably. If you're paying attention, if you're consuming fantasy football content, you've been hearing it. Cincinnati is historically bad against tight ends. Like I said earlier, if someone's bad at defending something, hammer that line. That's how you make money.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Ryan, your second top 5 bet of the week.
Guys, number 2 this week, it's heavily juiced, but I like this one. And I know on FanDuel you can't parlay interceptions, but on DraftKings you can. So this week I'm taking Shedeur Sanders to have 1 or more interceptions. It's minus 188. If you guys feel lucky, it's 169 for 2. I will say that the Bears have the most interceptions of any team this year at 18. So it's looking good for Shedeur Sanders interception. Shedeur Sanders has started 4 games and has thrown 3 picks in those 4 games. So I'm liking the Shedeur Sanders interception by the Bears this week.
And I mean, Bears are 7.5 point favorites, so you got to assume that they're going to be throwing.
Correct. Yeah. And also, guys, a little trivia for you. This is the largest Bears home point spread since 2018, 7.5.
Wow. Yeah, that checks out. Bears have been bad. That statistic just tells me, guys, the Bears have been bad since 2018.
Yeah,
that is correct.
I couldn't believe it when I read that. I was thinking maybe a couple years, maybe 3 years. I didn't think it would be almost a decade.
I feel like that first Nagy season might have been like getting there, but that was 2018, wasn't it?
Correct.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. So
yep,
that checks out.
All right. So then let's go to who's next. Me. Cool. Hooray. So I mentioned Devonta Smith over 54.5 receiving yards. Another play in the system this week, A.J. Brown over 64.5 receiving yards. They both whoop ass at different coverages. But while Devonta has better separation and a higher first read target share than A.J. Brown, the Raiders play cover 2, the Smith coverage, at 15%, and the Raiders play cover 3, the A.J. Brown coverage, at 49%.
Really? It's also worth noting that A.J. Brown's going to ask for that ball.
A.J. Brown is on an absolute heater right now.
Yeah, he is.
And this is the week that I hope it continues. This could be a blow-up week. The Raiders allow the second most passing yards per game when playing cover 3. They allow over 100 yards passing per game in just cover 3. And the only team that has given up more yards against opposing offenses in cover 3 is Dallas. So fire up your AJ's Brown. Definitely a smashiest smash play this week. As much as we always have been looking into running backs this week, man, there's a lot of really top end wide receivers I like. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest. I wanted to hammer like running backs, but if you look at my top 5 bets, I'm playing a lot of receiving lines this week.
Why wouldn't you, man? Yep. Like AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Chase, Puka. Like
there's some great value this week.
I feel like there's a chance Jamar Chase is the slate record this week and just puts up 50.
I hope so, because I'm going to have at least one Burrow stack.
Someone's got a dude. Think about how many teams are going to be in best ball round 3s because of Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts.
Right. I'm doing a bunch of the dollar lineups on DraftKings for the big like 80,000 person tournament.
Hell yeah, dude. Jamar Chase in every single one. All right. Waleed, your third top 5 bet of the week.
My third top 5 bet of the week is we're going Travis Kelce over 42.5 receiving yards. I pointed out that over the last 4 weeks, Cincinnati is giving it 12.6 yards per target to inline routes. The Chargers giving up 13.6 yards per target.
That's
Travis
a lot.
Kelce has an excellent matchup right here. That Chargers team is really beat up, and Kansas City still has a little bit of hope, not much, but enough that I think they're going to come out here and try to like take this game.
Okay. I mean this is like their last shot, right?
Yeah.
pretty much every game for Kansas City from here on out is a playoff game.
But this one's a lot more significant too because they have to win this game because they're not like first off like division conference record, but also their schedule softens up a lot at the end.
Sure. Sure. All right, Ryan, your third top 5 bet of the week.
All right, guys. My third bet this week, I'm running it back with the Cleveland Browns game, and the one thing the Bears have struggled with this season is the run game. And Judkins is the best player, honestly, on this team outside of THfantaC. And I think being so cold, if our bettors don't know, if they're not from the Midwest, it's supposed to be like almost 0 degrees in Chicago tomorrow.
It's going to feel like -20 or something like that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a heavy run game. So I'm going with Judkins, 80 plus rushing and receiving. I was going to do originally his line of rushing at 70.5, but then I started looking back at his stats, and I think it was last week or the week before, he had like one catch for like 58 yards. So I just wanted.
They use him in the passing game.
Right. I just wanted to hedge that. So at -167, I feel a little bit better adding 10 more yards for rushing and receiving. So,
it's the same logic I had with Woody Marks. Like that extra 10 yards, but you're combining it. So all he has got to do is break.
Right.
And it gives you a little bit more leverage.
And they also put Jerome Ford on IR this week.
Okay.
That's big.
Perfect. Hell yeah.
So
Dylan Sampson breakout week. You heard it here first.
Fuck you.
No. God damn it.
But I do want to say, we're speaking on Judkins. Human being qualities aside, because not a fan of Quinjon Judkins, the person.
Love the football player.
It was a pretty lonely road that I walked during the pre-draft and off-season process, where I said Judkins was better than Henderson for fantasy purposes.
I was on that road with you, but I think it was just us.
It was lonely. It was Lonely Road, Take Me Home, the MGK cover of or interpolation of John Denver. All right. My fourth top 5 bet of the week. You're gonna hear
one thing I want to add here.
Please.
Over the last 4 weeks, Chicago Bears are giving up 3.32 yards before contact to running backs. That's the worst in the NFL. So Judkins in a cold weather game, that's a great play.
Hell yeah.
That's true. Sorry, I just got an email from AMC Stubbs, and some things just take priority. You know how it is.
Does CHC have a new sponsorship? Are they working with you in collusion with the Hallmark?
Oh my god!
With Hallmark
if we became Stubbs Supreme members,
oh man,
damn.
Yeah, they open up a wing based on us. This is the THfantaC wing.
Gambletown, not a proud sponsor of the 50% popcorn pass, now available at AMC.
Oh yeah.
See, you guys are about that life. Ryan and I can't hold a candle to how many times you guys go to the cinema.
Yeah.
All right. So my fourth top 5 bet of the week is yet again another system play. They all are this week. CeeDee Lamb over 87.5 receiving yards, because who cares about health and safety protocols? It doesn't matter that he totally fenced on live television, clearly concussed, but he's back, so everything's good. It's like T. Higgins.
He had an extra couple days, to be fair. I'm not going to be fair. I mean, look, they treated CeeDee Lamb. At least they took him out of the game, unlike T. Higgins, who they're like, we need to get our 5th win of the season. Go out there.
Right.
Yep. So CeeDee Lamb over 87.5 receiving yards. What coverage do I have him for? I have him for man coverage. He shreds man coverage, and he's CeeDee Lamb. And listen, man, I remain pro George Pickens, but CeeDee's still what runs this offense. So I feel pretty good about this line. CeeDee tends to hit when he pops in the system. So of course I just jinxed it. But other than that, 87.5 receiving yards, no big deal. So that's my fourth top 5 bet of the week.
Okay.
What do you got, Waleed?
My fourth bet of the week, also CeeDee Lamb. I got him at a better number, though. I got him at 83.5.
Yeah, that's dope.
And you know what? You covered it. We're good. Vikings give up a lot of receiving yards to guys that lined out wide. The system says it. I follow the system.
This game should have a lot of plays, right? Like this should be a high velocity matchup, you would hope, because neither team is going to grind you out on the ground. There's going to be a lot of passing.
And like it's not like the Cowboys are gonna. I don't know. Like it's got a high point total. It's CeeDee Lamb. I'm not gonna overthink it.
I'll take my digression here on Justin Jefferson. I mentioned this on the podcast last night, that Justin Jefferson is 0 for 4 in the system when he pops on the system, and JJ McCarthy is his quarterback.
Yeah.
And his receiving yards line for the first one was like 71, and then it went down to 68, and then 64, and now it's like 62. And he keeps putting up like 25 yards. It's
25 yards. I wish he put up 25 yards.
Yeah, I know. So actually, my last system play, this isn't a top 5 bet. So my last system play is Jefferson, because he popped, and his line at Caesars that I got earlier, 57.5.
Oh.
I don't think he'll hit it.
If he's going to do it anywhere, it should be against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are giving up, like, I don't think there's like any quarterback who hasn't like performed above expectation this season.
I think they said.
Don't you worry, JJ McCarthy will find a way to beat JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, that will be the telling stat if you're the only quarterback who can't outperform what your projections are against the Cowboys defense.
Oh, Tony,
you know what, though?
I might have just figured out a stat that you throw into the system to monitor quarterback play, where you set like a minimum quarterback rating.
So with the new categories, I have quarterback completion percentage against that coverage, and then quarterbacks passing yards per game versus that coverage.
Sure.
And it actually like knocked a couple people out pretty significantly.
But not JJ McCarthy,
which makes it a great stat, because let's be honest, your goal should be to find as many right people, not like as many people.
Correct. And also, Justin Jefferson was on my system twice. He's the second best separator against cover 2 and the second best separator against cover 3. JJ McCarthy's completion percentage against cover 2 is 40th.
But
that's horrible.
Are there 40 quarterbacks playing in the NFL right now?
So it was anyone that played 4 or more games this year was the parameter.
Wild.
And then last but not least, against cover 3, which, as you guys know, is like pretty much the base defensive coverage that most teams play.
Mm-hmm.
JJ McCarthy's completion percentage of 57.4 is 44th.
Yeah.
Is Joe Burrow gonna be a Viking next year?
I would be so sad.
That would make me sad and happy at the same time, because I like good football. I don't really want it against the Bears, though, if I can help it.
Exactly. All right. So that's my bad. Sorry for hopping in on that. Ryan, can I get your 4th top 5 bet of the week?
My 4th this week, guys. San Francisco's going up against a very bad Tennessee defense, and San Francisco's at home. The one thing that Tennessee's defense is pretty decent at, I think they're like top 10 against the tight end. So I was going to roll with Kittle this week, but I pulled it back and I went with CMC's rushing and receiving line. Last night it was at 119.5 on FanDuel. That's what I got it at. This morning I checked back and it's gone up. DK's got it at like 123.5. FanDuel went up, I think, a couple yards. But I think 120 rushing and receiving yards is easily attainable for CMC this week. And I love the 2 touchdown bet that Waleed's got too. It's going to be an all CMC game, I think, for the most part.
This definitely feels like a CMC game for sure.
Right.
Okay. All right, and then finally, my last top 5 bet of the week is Davante Adams, which I got at 61.5 receiving yards. Didn't hit his touchdowns last week, which sucks. But
he
going
had one,
against,
though, right?
No, he had 0.
He had 0 touchdowns. It was all Blake Corum and Kyron Williams in the red zone.
And Puka caught the long passes.
That's right. Yeah.
So Davante, second best against man coverage in the league. Lions play man coverage at the highest rate in football. They're missing both their safeties.
Makes Maybe that's why, because I was kind of shocked when I was looking at the lines on this game. I was just shocked that the Detroit was like plus 220 on the money line. I thought it would. I mean, I knew they'd be underdogs, but I didn't think it'd be that much.
The Lions defense is really badly hurt. They're good against stopping the run. They are not good against stopping the pass. So this isn't a week where I want to play Corum or Kyron Williams, but like
Sure.
Puka is Puka. I'm playing him everywhere, but this is absolutely screaming at Devontae Adams week.
Yeah,
he's gonna get 2 this week, I think.
Matthew Stafford, third best completion percentage against man coverage, throws for the 5th most yards per game against man coverage, and the Lions allow the most yards per game in that coverage. So,
Okay.
I think that this could be a game where both eat. But as of right now, the only action I have on Devontae Adams right now is his line at 61.5 receiving yards. Waleed, your final bet of the week.
Okay.
Yeah. On a side note, Matt Stafford is my QB1 of the week.
He should be.
So I'm gonna have I will I don't know if I can pull off the Devontae Puka Stafford stack because it's too damn expensive, but I want to. So Ryan was a McCaffrey guy. I am going Brock Purdy over 244 and a half passing yards. And I'm gonna just say it very simply. If Shador Sanders can throw for 364 yards against the Titans, I think Brock Purdy can get 245.
That's and they're at home.
Simple as.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan.
Guys, my last one. I never thought this year I'd have a bet on Ben Sinnott. But at minus 102, Ben Sinnott over 1.5 catches.
Yes.
I don't care about the yards because even the yards are low. I want to say it was like in the teens or low 20s. Yes. But for 2 catches, Ben Sinnott is back, guys. Zach Ertz is probably retiring after that horrible injury last week.
The last time Zach Ertz tore his ACL, Trey McBride emerged. I'm just saying. I want to point out while we were watching the game, Zach Ertz got hurt. Like Tony and I both at the same time were like, Ben Sinnott season.
Right. And at minus 102, it's almost plus money. Like, come on. Like,
I mean, like,
he's gonna have 2 catches. Jake Bates is not gonna. Jake Bates is the blocking.
No, I agree completely. They have different roles in the offense, and I feel like it. And I actually I say it jokingly, but like Ben Sinnott was like, it's the same thing when McBride was like, why isn't he playing? Is he just not good? And then when Ertz got hurt and Trey McBride became like the best tight end in football, it was like, oh. I don't think Sinnott is as good a prospect as Trey McBride was coming out. No. But Ben Sinnott was really good, and it wouldn't surprise me to be like, oh, this guy's a top 10 tight end. Why weren't they playing him? Because NFL coaches are stupid. That's why.
He's also 2,700 in DFS and is really cheap this week. So
yeah,
he is. I won't play him over Mark Andrews or Isaiah Likely.
And I did put him in a lineup. Because, it was only 2,700. I was able to pay up a lot more. But in a game against the Giants where we think that Washington's most likely going to be playing from behind the whole game, they're going to have to pass. And Mariota shows that he's not as good as Daniels at the pass. So what's gonna probably falter is some of the wide receiver production. But the short passes to the checkdowns and Ben Sinnott's going to have at least 4 catches, I think.
I want to point out the sneaky stack. You get Mariota, McLaurin, Ben Sinnott with the run back of Devin Singletary and Wan'Dale Robinson. And then you just load up with like elite players there. So if this game ends up being a high scoring game, which it has the makings for, I think that's a solid DFS tournament play.
Sure.
I'd like to maybe we could flex. Maybe we could collab on a lineup like that after when we get off air.
Absolutely. Okay. Oh, I already have a plan on doing one. That's going to be my Mariota lineup.
Okay. I do want to point out some statistical outliers. Ben Sinnott's played 4 games with Marcus Mariota, 4 games without Marcus Mariota. When he's playing without Marcus Mariota, 1 catch on 1 target for 7.2 yards. But robustly with Marcus Mariota, 1.2 catches on 1.2 targets for 10 yards and 0.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
he's 50% better with Marcus Mariota.
And hey man, look, we all love Ben Sinnott. I think there's an element to this play that Ryan's doing that is like an emotional hedge. And it's a guy we want to root for. It's a guy we all liked coming out of college. So like, I'm all about it, man. I think this is the most fun play of the week across all of ours.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because we're all hoping for it. I usually root against you guys because you're my friends.
Yeah.
But in this one, I'll root for you. All right, cool. So let's do our parlays. Waleed, as the one that hit last week, can you do your 2 parlays for us real quick?
I can. So my first parlay, I like CeeDee Lamb. You know me. I like my wide receiver stacks. I got CeeDee Lamb over 83.5 receiving yards with 6.5 receptions and a touchdown. $10 at plus 275 will pay me $37.50. It's a solid play because let's be honest, if CeeDee Lamb has 7 catches, odds are one of them's in the end. He hits 90 yards and I make $40. My second one. So DraftKings always has the touchdown boost, and I think I went pretty. I went fun with this one because if I'm doing touchdown bets, I feel like touchdown bets are random, so I'm going for bigger odds. But I was very particular about which bets I was taking. First off, like my 2 favorite running backs of the week, Woody Marks and Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, 1 touchdown bet isn't worth adding because like when he gets a touchdown, he gets 3 touchdowns. So I threw in a Christian McCaffrey 2 touchdown bet to get some positive odds. Woody Marks touchdown because this matchup is so damn good. I mean, Woody Marks, I think he's the number 2 value running back after CMC on the week. Yeah. On top of that, you got Mark Andrews playing a Cincinnati defense, which we've already discussed. So that TD is good. And we know Devontae Adams popped in the system, which makes it a lot more likely I think he's going to get that touchdown, especially because this is a good run defense. So I think you're going to see more passing into red zone. So $5 with my DraftKings boost gets me plus 2107. So my $5 bet will pay $110.35.
That'd be so nice.
I think it's a smart. I honestly think those odds are really nice. I think at plus 1,000, I would feel like pretty good about this. So
sure,
I'm pretty excited about that one.
Okay. All right, Ryan, let's get your parlays this week.
All right, first off, guys, I got a 3-leg money line parlay this week. I went with New England, the Giants, and Denver, who Denver, surprisingly, is a slight home underdog against Green Bay. I don't know why. I would have figured that Green Bay would have been the slight underdogs, but I'll take it to get the plus odds. Giants are the only one that are favored. I think they're like minus 130. Denver was like plus 110 or something like that. New England, when I got it yesterday, was like plus 100. That game's kind of good. I do like New England beating Buffalo this week. I'm saying it right here. Yes.
Ballsy.
New England, I think, has a better. Buffalo has one of the worst rush defenses, and when you've got Ramondre and Travion Henderson and a mobile quarterback, I think that's only going to help New England win this game. And we've seen Buffalo just fall apart, and I don't think they're going to put up points like they did against Cincinnati last week. Not against this better New England defense. So
at home,
New England, yep. New England, the Giants, and Denver gets you plus 654 because 2 of those teams were plus odds. I put 5 down to win a little over 37. My next one, I took one of my top 5 bets and went with the Frisco.
I want to point out the Denver bet. That's pure spite against the Packers on Ryan's part.
Of course, yeah. I don't want the Packers to win. Fuck that. Right. Yeah, I saw Denver was plus odds, and I'm like, against the Packers? Fuck yeah, I'm betting.
I mean, with that defense, that Denver defense is legit.
And they're at home.
Yeah.
So my second parlay this week, I took one of my top 5 bets. I went with McCaffrey's over 119.5 rushing yards, or rushing and receiving yards. I parred that with the San Francisco money line and a spicy Chamari DK over 32.5 receiving.
Yards. I like DK. I think
there's nothing spicy about it. Like,
he's one of my favorite punt receiver plays this week.
Yeah.
San Francisco's defense can generate no real pass rush. So we should
Sure.
see some like passing yards. I don't think Tennessee's going to actually put up points, but I think they are going to accumulate some stats against the Saints.
No, Tony's
they're gonna
right.
have to
It comes in the special teams play. Like anytime that guy touches the ball, it's
I mean, he's on pace to break the all-time yardage totals for a rookie because of his like punt returns.
Yeah, combined yards. Yeah.
So that one came out at plus 271. I put 10 down on that to win a little over 37 again.
Okay.
All right, so
Tony, what do you got?
my two parlays, my money line, Seahawks, 49ers, Ravens, somehow managed to tease that to plus 103, and I'm like, I'm just going to stop here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Stop here.
Well, $10 for talk. Let's go.
How is
when
that
they give
minus 400?
when they give you a free double up, Tony, you take it, I guess. So
obviously, I'm most anxious about Baltimore and Cincinnati, but like Baltimore, I still believe is the better football team.
I think Baltimore comes out and wins this. There's no way they're losing to Burrow. I mean
again.
Yeah.
So I think Lamar's getting healthy at the right time.
Exactly.
So I mean, they should have won last week. They decided to not count a touchdown. That was clearly a touchdown.
Yep.
So whatever. So then my same game parlay, I kept it simple. I have Nico's line at 74.5 receiving. So on my parlay, I took an adjusted 70 plus and threw that with the Houston money line because they're strong favorites there too. And I managed to get plus odds at there. So I was like, all right, stop the wheel. We're good. So I got that at plus 106. So $10 there would give me $20.60 back. And the money line parlay, I put 10 at plus 103 to get $20.26 back.
Sure.
So,
and one thing you guys can do for our listeners is Sunday morning, if you wanna get better odds on Tony's parlay, wait till they put out all those boosts and you can get 30%. Maybe you'll get plus 140 or 150.
Yeah,
so
you can do that while I man with Evan Hoovler, the starter sit show. It's going to be me plus a baby doing your starts and sits for fantasy football week 15. We're bringing in the big guns.
So we're finally going to know if Cassidy knows ball.
I can't wait for Cassidy's touchdown pick of the week.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, the diaper shitting touchdown of the week.
Hell yeah.
I'll have to do some research. Him and I will go over.
That kid can shit out picks. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh man, no blowouts this week. Let's go.
Whatever. What you have to do, Tony, you just start naming a whole bunch of players. You make like a 10-player pool that you think are most likely to score touchdowns, and whatever one he farts to, that's the one.
Are we going to use that to help pick some Jersey Shore picks?
Yeah. By the way,
we can start doing that.
For those of you who don't know, which is literally every single person watching this, everyone here on this call was over last week, and Cassidy was just ripping ass nonstop.
It was seismic. It wasn't
just a warning sign. It was the real deal.
Damn.
All right, so let's do our milli bets. I'm gonna just get mine out of it.
Did you do the?
Yeah.
You did your money line.
Nico 70 plus and Houston money line, and then my 3 money line is Seahawks, 49ers, Ravens.
Okay.
I want to get my milli bet out of the way because I like both of your guys' milli bets better, and I'm a meager peon in this system. Listen, man. No Marvin Harrison Jr. equals Michael Wilson at 62.5 receiving yards. Just easy. He's going to get 38 targets. I got it at minus 114. I put my milli bet of $10 on there. It'd bring me back 1877. But I really want to talk about Ryan's milli bet right now. So Ryan, tell us what you got, dude.
All right, guys. Jacksonville defensive touchdown. Now, you guys wish you were me because I got it yesterday at plus 600. It has since gone down on DK to plus 450, and on FanDuel, I think it was 5 or 550. I locked it in at 600 yesterday. Right now, the Jacksonville defense, guys, has 23 takeaways on the season. That's second overall in the NFL. Jacksonville defense is and against this Jets team who's going to make an ass load of mistakes, I'm thinking a fumble recovery or a pick six is really possible.
Is it Brady Cook?
Yes.
So what you're telling me, Ryan, is you don't believe in Brady Cook? How could you?
No.
Yeah, this is gonna, and I mean, you got to assume with game script and all, you would imagine that the Jags go up, and
Sure.
he's gonna have to throw a lot because it's not like the Jets know how to use Brees Hall ever.
Sure. There was a guy I listened to on SiriusXM Fantasy Channel, and on Thursday he was talking about he does a defensive touchdown model every week,
Fuck
and yeah, dude, yeah, and he came out and said that Jacksonville defense has the highest probability he's ever had, or one of the highest probabilities he's ever had in his defensive model for this year, and it was almost 20%.
I wanna
That
point
rules.
out, like, I just want to say, tell me you're a degenerate without telling me you're a degenerate. That's what that statement was to me, and I want to point out, I'm here for it, like,
Yeah.
because I have my defensive streamer model that I was working on that I'm pretty excited about, and man, I gotta tell you, the Jacksonville Jaguars look really damn good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, and then Waleed, our Lord Emperor, can you tell us your Millie bet of the week?
Oh, my Millie bet of the week is very simple. I like to stick with my receiver, CD Lamb at over 110, at plus 220, $10 to pay out $32 because I think CD Lamb is going to cook, and if I think he's going to cook, might as well bet on it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. So those are our picks. We're going to run through DFS, and we're going to bring in super producer Josh, and we're going to have Josh start us off with his quarterback play of the week.
Oh man, guys, I cooked on this one.
Okay.
We'll get into it when I talk about my running backs. But I'm going with Tyler Sugar
Damn.
on New
Okay,
Orleans.
let me just tell you something about the Saints this week too, Josh. Believe it or not, well, I guess you won't believe it, but Panthers are the favorite in this game. But guess what? The Panthers have lost 11 straight games outright, as a favorite.
Awesome.
So that is the longest streak in the entire Super Bowl era.
Oh my
Awesome.
god!
So at like plus, I want to say the Saints were like plus 130 or 140. I might be a degenerate and go do a money line parlay with the Saints.
There's definitely a lot of Shuck Olave
Yeah, I mean
stacks in my brain.
He's
week.
starting to come around. Like, he did not start the year good, but he's putting up some decent numbers. If you had him in DFS last week, it saved you a lot of money, and you were able to pay up on a lot of other positions. And he still put up, what, 15, 20 points?
He ran for 2 scores.
Yeah,
and
quietly adequate quarterback at the 4,900
I think
mark.
I like adequate, like, might be an understatement considering how few games he's played. Like, every week he looks better and better. I've been like, last week, if you remember, when we were talking about cash plays for DFS, I ended up going with Josh Allen, but I had a cash lineup that had Tyler Shuck that I really liked. I would have won like $500 if I had put it in the millie. Like, It was like Tyler Shuck he's been quietly killing it. I want to go back to something real quick though, because Ryan was talking about his like Jacksonville defense. If you do on FanDuel, it's plus 550 for Jacksonville right now. But if you do that with a Chicago Bears defensive touchdown, a $5 bet pays out $271.25. I only say this because Shador Sanders. You know what I mean?
Call the model guy. Ask him what's up.
No. You only have to call the number if he adds a third touchdown.
Yeah, no. That's exactly right. But the only number you need to call is 1-800-HAVE-FUN. All right?
Yep.
That's what we're doing here.
I'm doing that. I'm writing that down right now.
All right, Waleed, your quarterback play of the week.
My quarterback play of the week, I told you it earlier. My number one quarterback of the week is Matthew Stafford. So my quarterback is Matthew Stafford.
Love it.
Okay.
The Lions give up passing yards. They don't give up rushing yards. This is going to be a high-scoring game, and I'm taking my number one rated quarterback.
Okay. Ryan, your quarterback.
I have a lot riding this week on this guy in fantasy and in DFS. I'm playing Tony's wife in the playoffs for our home league, our big money league.
Oh,
true.
either a friendship or a marriage is going to end this week, guys.
And I need Lamar Jackson to just go off. So I'm going with Lamar this week. I think, like Tony said earlier, whatever health funk he was in earlier this season, he's coming out of it, and he's playing one of the worst defenses in the league. So I'm going with Lamar Jackson. I think he has at least three passing touchdowns.
I am also a need Lamar to do shit guy this week. I got him in my work league. Luckily, if I win, I'm definitely in the playoffs. But I'm also playing the last place team in a super flex, whose every quarterback is starting injured. So if I lose this week, it's just God hates me. That's all that is.
Okay, so my original quarterback pick was Matthew Stafford. I'm going to pivot. Instead, I'm going to pay down so I can go fancy elsewhere, and I'm going to go with Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota is one of my favorite value plays of the week.
Yep. All right, Josh, you're running back.
Okay, so the whole origin for this week's lineup, guys, is I was looking at kind of the budget or the medium tier or what I was comfortable paying for running backs, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm uncomfortable picking half the field that exists out here. The games are gonna be either too tight or game script is gonna be unpredictable. So I went with a Derrick Henry, a Christian McCaffrey double on my on my running backs.
Yeah,
because I think
for Shuck.
Yeah,
I also like Derrick Henry as well.
My RB2 and my RB4 on the week. So
okay. All right, Wally, you're running back.
This will surprise nobody. Apparently, I am the biggest Woody Marks lover that's ever existed. I certainly am this week because Woody Marks has just he has the nuts for a matchup.
Yeah.
And
against Arizona,
when I can get a running back at 5,600 who's going to get 20 touches, who's going to get 20 carries a game, he'll get 25 targets and touches total against a bad matchup. I'm taking him at that price, and I'm hoping he hits, even if he is going to be chalk.
Okay, Ryan.
Okay, so in the DK football absurdity lineup, this is what I base all of our DFS stuff we talk about on this show.
Yep.
On I did have Derrick Henry with Lamar Jackson, but I'll tell you my second running back this week.
You could take Derrick Henry. Josh named 2 running backs. He only gets one.
I know, but he took Derrick Henry, so I just want to let you know I also have him in lineup. But my second running back this week is Ramondre Stevenson.
Ooh,
what a great pick! What's his price? I didn't even look at that.
5,100. He's gonna get a touchdown,
especially because last week he outsnapped Travion Henderson because
exactly
in true football coach fashion, Mike Vrabel hates rookies.
We talked about this on the show last night.
Sure did.
So at 5,100, super cheap, gonna afford me some way better guys later on.
That. I'm gonna add him to my pivot list.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that, but once you said it, it clicks. That's a solid play.
My running back is Travis Etienne.
This is a good week for Etienne.
That's another great. It's another great matchup where you could see him just getting a ton of carries in the second half because they're up by so much.
And Tootin fumbled last week, and after that, he was taken out of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
All the entire second half, and it makes me think about. I saw a Twitter comment during the off season, during best ball season, and the original tweet was basically you guys aren't ready. Jaguars coaches aren't ready for how much of a dog Bashal Tootin is. You guys have no idea what you're in for. And one of the responses was yeah, until they see how bad he is at holding onto the ball. So apparently this has been a lifelong thing for Tootin. Hopefully they trust Etienne to tote the rock. And in this matchup with no Quinnen Williams, this defense is cooked. So my running back play is, I think, probably a lower owned guy.
I don't know if he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be lower owned, but he's not going to be at the top of roster rates. So I'm gonna have a fair amount of Etienne. He's one of my guys that I've got highlighted.
All right, cool. All right, Josh, your wide receiver play.
So my wide receiver is Christian Watson of the Green Bay Packers.
Love it.
That is a bold pick. I mean, Denver's defense is really good, but if you look at what Christian Watson has been doing over the last month, it's hard to deny, especially at his price point.
As Bear fans, we've been making fun of The fact that they don't have a wide receiver one, but I think they have found their wide
They
receiver
do,
one.
yeah, and
in there.
it sucks.
We just know it's not Matthew Golden.
It sucks. It sucks having a Green Bay Packer in your lineup. We did for Fantasy last week. We don't this week, but it sucks having a Green Bay Packer in your lineup as a Bears fan. But you can't argue with the points that he's been putting up and his cheaper price.
I mean, like, he's always been the most talented receiver on that team. It's always a question of his health. But when he's healthy, man, like, he is explosive.
Well, he was also a small school guy with limited reps. So, like, we're watching him develop 3 years into his career, whereas we expect most guys to come out their first year and just crush. He also lost a bunch of time with injuries.
Yeah, hey, he was a guy, I remember I liked him a lot. I thought it was going to take him a year before he even did anything, but he popped his rookie year.
Do you remember it was the first game of the season, their first offensive play? Rodgers threw to him deep and he dropped it.
Yeah, and then never threw for him for like a month because.
All right, Waleed, your receiver.
My receiver, to the surprise of no one, Puka Nacua, my number one receiver on the week.
Okay.
I'm going to pair him with my number one quarterback on the week because I like scoring points.
That's how you win. Yeah. All right, Ryan, your receiver.
Since I paid down for Ramadre, I'm able to afford Jamar Chase in my lineup this week.
That's smooth.
My number two receiver on the week.
Yeah, that's.
I want a lot of parts of that Baltimore Cincy game.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Especially Higgins is out, so. I wouldn't be surprised if Chase had like 20 targets.
Oh, this, like I said, this could be like a Jamar Chase slate wrecking week.
No Higgins, come on.
Yeah, and every once in a while, Jamar Chase drops 40, and he usually does it against the Ravens.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. My pivot was going to be Jamar Chase because I didn't think anyone here had the guts, but I'm going to go with my original play. Is officially Nico Collins at wide receiver.
Okay.
Love Nico Collins this week. I want to point out one of my favorite under 6,000 plays, just for everyone's reference. I'm going to have Wan'Dale Robinson across the board as much as I possibly can. His matchup is so damn good, and just he checked every box that I have in my metrics. And when I get a guy under 6,000 who does that, I'm going to jam him into lineups because I think he could explode and just be the best guy at his price point.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have 50% Wan'Dale this week. Can't lie
That's
to you.
about what I'll be at.
Okay. All right, Josh, your tight end play of the week.
My tight end play of this week is Ben Sinnott. I mean,
oh God bless you.
I mean, you got to when you're paying up for Henry and CMC, you might as well get that Trey McBride 2.0 value. His price is only going to go up.
All right, Waleed, your tight end.
My tight end is it's Mark Andrews. I mean, we all knew it. If someone had taken Mark Andrews, it was going to be Isaiah Likely. I'm taking whoever's playing that defense. Did Ryan say his tight end? Who was it?
No, he's about to though.
Oh, he's about to. Okay.
Yeah, my tight end, since you have Andrews, is going to be Likely. On TH Fantasy last night, my mid-tier kind of shitty tight end of the week was a coin flip between Andrews and Likely. So, and guys, they're only, I think, $100 apart. So you'll be able to make lineups with whatever. And honestly, if you take the coin flip, I think both guys can get touchdowns. So you know.
One of the other stacks I plan on doing, this is definitely going to be in my Millie. It's going to be a Lamar, Likely, Mark Andrews, Jamar Chase stack.
That's what I have. I have Lamar, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, and Andrews right now. And
no, I don't want Derrick Henry because I think Derrick Henry takes away from Lamar. I don't like pairing running backs and quarterbacks where I can help it, especially when they're both pretty expensive. But I get it. Also, I could see that like I mean I could see the Ravens putting up 50 and all of them being like slate records. So
yeah, Andrews gets his 50 yards and touchdown in the first half, and then Derrick Henry just runs the second half.
100 yards and like 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? That's easily in the range of outcomes.
Yep.
Okay. So my tight end is based on the idea that if I'm entering any sort of large field tournaments this week, I need to have Jamar Chase and I also need to have George Kittle because these seem to be ideal blow-up weeks for both of these guys.
Yeah.
Where you could get 60 to 70 points from those two combined.
100% agree with that.
And so like, look, man, when Purdy's in, Kittle's the guy he throws to.
Yeah.
Just period. So, if I'm in a situation where I need to pay down because maybe I went, CMC and Chase, or I went Stafford and Puka at some point, I'm not against, paying down to save some money. A Harold Fannin, Theo Johnson, I like as a real cheap pivot.
Those are right up there in like
Yeah.
that's you basically named my tight end 1, 3, and 4 on the
Theo
week.
Johnson.
Oh.
Theo Johnson was the other guy that I had for mid-tier kind of shitty tight end.
Yeah.
League.
Yep. Okay. Josh, your defense. Should we all just
Well-
say Jacksonville and call it a show?
No.
I'm not saying Jacksonville.
No.
I'm not saying
I do have
Jacksonville.
I do have a cheaper one.
Hell yeah, Josh.
I am saying because you might look at my lineup and be like, "Oh, Josh, you're paying down in a lot of spots." This is another origin point. I wanted to pick the defense that's about to beat up on a 40-something-year-old grandpa. I'm going Seattle Seahawks versus whatever's left of Phillip Rivers.
Respect. Okay. Waleed, your defense.
We're bearing down here. Cold weather game. Shador Sanders against the team that scores the most turnovers. You'll note that they were my number 2 defense after Jacksonville in my defensive streamer article of the week. I think you got to go Chicago Bears. Like, I don't mind paying up for defenses this week because I honestly think there's going to be a couple of defenses that are putting up 20 points, and they're going to be some of the more expensive ones, and I want my shares of those.
Sure. Okay. Ryan, your defense.
I picked a spicy one this week, guys. One that's probably going to be low owned because they're going up against Josh Allen. I'm going with New England Patriots defense.
Oh,
I love it.
They're only 2,800.
Buffalo Bills are turning the ball over. Let me see. I want to see what I had.
Yeah, James Cook fumbling, and you never know when Josh Allen's going to throw a pick. Like, they're in New England, and it's going to be snowy. Like, I totally get it.
people have crowned them as the AFC Super Bowl, team. So that means that
God,
Bills
that'd be
and
nuts.
that the Bills are gonna, throw it away at the last second. So
Buffalo Bills are tied for the 6th most turnovers in football.
yeah.
They're also they are 13th in sacks allowed to other teams. There's some value in that actually.
Well, and schematically, it makes sense too, right? Because Buffalo doesn't have any receiving options, and all they do is run, and New England is really good at stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, I get it.
Well, I'm taking the Jags, so the end.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm
It's always like all the 3 defenses I have in the tournaments right now: Bears, Jags, and New England. That's it.
most of these choices are fairly obvious. I'm going to throw one out there that's probably not being talked about a lot, but it's the 3rd ranked on my defensive model. The Pittsburgh Steelers against the Dolphins. Although I don't actually. Oh wait, that's a Monday night.
You can't. Yeah, you
use
can't
it.
play.
Never mind.
And
You know what? If you're playing in fantasy playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they're available, it's an option.
TJ Watt being out doesn't change things for you.
You know what? My model doesn't rank it. My model ranks basically like sacks, turnovers, and points allowed on both sides. Like
If you do
and it comes up with a median score.
If you do the showdown captain mode on DK for the single games on Monday night and Sunday night, like I do, I'll at least have one lineup with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense as my MVP.
Yeah. Although actually without TJ Watt, now I think I'm going to fade that completely. I'll just bet on Devin Achane scoring 40 points and make money.
Also possible. Okay, cool. So let's run through our lineups one last time. Josh, can you start us off, please?
Tyler Shug, Christian McCaffrey, and then my wide receiver is Christian Watson. My tight end is Ben Sinnott, and my defense is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. Waleed?
I got Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Woody Marks at running back, Puka Nacua at wide receiver, Mark Andrews at tight end, and Chicago Bears defense.
Okay, Ryan?
I had Lamar Jackson, Ramondre Stevenson, Jamar Chase, Mark Andrews / Isaiah Likely, and then the Patriots D.
Okay. I pivoted from Stafford to Mariota, Travis Etienne, Nico Collins, George Kittle, Jacksonville. So that's week 15, guys. I don't think we got anything else. Don't have any questions in the chat. Looks like we have all we need.
All right, guys.
So
Cool.
let's get paid.
All right, guys. Let's
May
go get
you
those
guys-
monocles.
Yeah, may you guys wake up on Monday morning millionaires.
Hell yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yep. See ya.